And welcome to the Nexus. Welcome to the Nexus. James the Idol Smasher at gmail.com. And this is a weekly time we set aside for Torah chatting. It's usually at 8 p.m. Central tonight. We are just running just past 9 p.m. Central because, well, let's face it, sometimes you're having too much fun and you just can't stop. You're going to pop. The family and I went to the state fair, the Kansas State Fair, and rode every ride we could possibly ride, and then some. And it was just a blast. Drank a ton of lemonade. And so anyway, we take this time for a little bit of Torah, a little bit of you, and a little bit of everything in the world right now. Rosalie and John's with us tonight. Hi, everybody.
Hi, John.
John's muted. He done muted himself.
Hey, everyone. What's up?
There he is. How you doing, hand? I see a hand. I see fingers.
Oh, sorry. Me and the mom took a road trip to Baltimore, so we're in Baltimore. We're relaxing. Yeah. We got a big day tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. I get a shirt at the fair. Check it out. If you can see it.
That's a classic. Yep. Yeah. There you go.
Fight. There you go.
What's it say?
Fight. Yeah.
Hey.
Fight like hell.
I couldn't help it. The wife was going in. She wanted to get her favorite dip, and want to get some aloe cream that this vendor sells there at the fair. So I was forced to buy something too.
All right.
So it is open biblical chat for all you fine folks out there in interwebs land. There's a link down below if you're looking on Rumble and YouTube. There's a link down there. I've got the link up on Twitter or X, excuse me. And if you're watching us on Facebook, there should be a link there as well. Go to the Orphans of Abraham. That's where we get. You're going to get a link to this and a lot more there every week. It's a private group, but at least you get the links there, and also the link to the Torah portion. Teitzei is linked there as well on the Rumble and YouTube stream. We'll get to Twitch eventually, or get to Twitter eventually. We'll get that.
I got it on private chat as well.
Yes, I see that. Okay.
If you want to go ahead and post it on the public one, that's fine.
Yeah. It's in the description, but just in case, we'll put it in the chat too. All right. So in Baltimore, Maryland, that's not so bad. It's better than Jersey. They have a T-shirt. We're adults here. There's a T-shirt you can get. It says "Kiss her where it smells. Take her to New Jersey." So I'll take Maryland any day. So here we are in the Nexus, and the reading. If you want to know, am I the age-old question? Am I my brother's keeper? This week's Torah portion, starting Duteronomy chapter 21, verse 10 is where it starts. And yes, you are your brother's keeper. And you're the keeper of his ox, if nobody else is doing it. Donkey, yeah.
Don't overload the donkey.
So, and there's a lot of common sense in the laws. You don't ever have your cart pulled by both an ox and a donkey. That's bad for the animals. Not that you're doing something that will tear the fabric of the universe apart, but cruelty to animals is a no-no, and sometimes will get you death penalty.
You don't plow them that way either.
Yeah. So you let your ox eat. You don't muzzle your ox. I don't know who's calling me, but I can't take your call because
Mr. Popular tonight, huh? Mr.
The middle
Popular.
of a broadcast.
They like your sexy shirt. That's what it is. They're calling.
There you go.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. The Haitians. They're eating them alive. They're cooking them. They're tasty. Oh, it's like they're making a big deal about it, but I thought that's what we were supposed to all believe this whole time, and now all of a sudden Trump says it. It's wrong, I guess.
Well, when you feed ducks, and then they come up to you thinking they're going to be fed, and you kill them. I mean, it's public duck. I know that like the Canadian goose is protected federal. It's different. Like I said, they're eating. It's no different than fishing.
On the street corners, man, they're roasting rats. They're giant fucking rats out on the street. So I don't know what they're talking about.
Thou shalt not eat thy neighbor's cat. Okay.
Anyway,
the public goose is like, well, they are for eating. That's how they got to live.
What you drinking over there, James? What do you got there?
I have. It's a little late in the evening, so I am enjoying the Bible and a beer.
Good. BB. You like the BB?
You can't see the label.
Miller High Life.
Miller High Life, of course. I think one of Rosalie's favorites. Is that right, Rosalie?
No, never.
I don't drink light beer.
It's not light. It's Miller's regular High Life.
Oh, it's Miller. Oh,
yeah.
Here's to it. Kosher brew. So
I drink Guinness.
Oh yeah, I love me Guinness too.
So the B and the B. Remember Alfred? It was always beer and a Bible with him. He was one of our atheist friends who was in the Nexus for quite some time, and he liked the beer and the Bible. Okay. Well, it is an open biblical chat, and we would like you, my favorite viewer, to join in. That would be really swell. Come on in. Any questions, comments, compliments, complaints? It's hard to get some straight Judaism out there. When you got so many people just kind of making the Jews look bad. You know who doesn't make? You know what Jews don't make the news? Jews who study Torah. They never make the news, unless there's that 3% that get all upset about the state of Israel existing. But other than that, you never hear about Jews who just study Torah and live their life. It's always the Hollywood Jews and the lawyer Jews and the crazy ones who would give Israel a bad name.
The Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
You know who's popular? Michael Cohen. He's got like 4 million followers on TikTok. Like, no, I'm not joking. He's like Mr. Popular over there. I don't know what's so special about him. A lawyer that lies. I mean, come on, we get it. Lawyers lie. Their mouth is moving. Here's the guy who's they charged Trump with like 54 counts. Well, I guess it's up to 90 now, but a couple of them was Michael Cohen. He was the one that was misusing the funds and writing bad checks and doing all the hush money stuff. And then they blame Trump for it. It's wonderful that if another person commits a crime, that someone else is blamed for it. It's like
bearing false witness.
There you go, bearing false witness. Yeah.
That's a no-no.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I reserved my seats for Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. I'm gonna go back to my old shul. I'm gonna surprise them after all these years. I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna say you're gonna have to take me back in. I'm going for it, man. I have no shame. I have no shame, James.
Well,
I can't wait. October, what is it? October 2nd, the evening of October 2nd.
Yeah. That's when it begins. The high holidays is what we're discussing here. We're in the final month of the Jewish year.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait for the shofar blowing. I can't wait for Sukkot, walking around with some God, what is it called? Luav. What is it in English? Luav and estrog and just doing
Lulav,
doing some Sukkot and davening in a sukkah and making live in the sukkah.
You can't leave it forever. I warn you about Torah, everybody. Once you start, it's hard to get away from it. It'll follow you around. I got a question. I'll hear some people say, and tell me if I'm wrong. If you reject God and Torah, you cannot be called an Israelite, correct? You're booted from the...
You're a kafir, I guess.
You can be an Israelite, you can't be a Jew. There's a difference.
Well,
anybody can live in...
I guess your blood, I don't know.
Anybody can live in Israel, but to be a Jew is something else.
I mean, it's like being an American and then moving to another country and then renouncing
it's like being
American
a heretic.
Citizenship,
I'm just wondering. I know the Rambam says, or I think it was Rashi. Or no, I think it was Rambam. It was Mishnah Torah, wasn't it? Where if you reject God and Torah, you can't be you're not only supposed to be kicked out of the nation, but you can't claim to be an Israelite. He says you can't claim to be Jewish. And here's what I'm wondering, and I think this is kind of backfiring on the Jewish people. It's like, if you're a Jew, you're a Jew, you're a Jew. That's what they tell me. That's what I hear.
Yeah,
and It's like, well, if you're a Jew who spits in God's eye and wipes yourself with the Torah, then no, you shouldn't be called
as
a Jew.
Heretic.
Well, you were put. I mean, biblically speaking, you were put in harem, which means, I guess, the English is excommunicated, but it's really not real. It's more than excommunication. You're literally shunned from the community.
You
You're
lose
put
your
in
space
harem, and that's it. You can't come back. I mean, this notion of like Hiruv and Chabad, they're going to run around New York City looking for Jews to put tefillin on, when these Jews, half of them, got tattoos and they hate God, or whatever they're doing. It's like, it's these people clearly aren't part of the tribe anymore. So why are you trying to like rope them back into the?
And because when they do it and we do it as everybody in here, by the way, is non-Jewish, but Jewish faith, but we're not actually what they call full Jews.
We follow the Jewish religion,
but it makes Jews look bad when you keep supporting they're Jewish. Well, they rejected Torah, they rejected God, they live a full-on goyish life. Who are you? Why are we including them? Because when we include them in the tribe, everyone thinks this is what Jews are. You get people like Candace Owens and Kanye West running around. You're saying goofy, stupid stuff about Jewish people, but they go for the worst. They go for the ones that get on camera and make total asses of themselves. And that's the example set for the nation.
You're kind of, you're on, I'd be honest with you, James. I mean, you're basically saying the same thing Candace Owens is saying. Now I'm a Chabadnik. I support Chabad. That's my sect. I'm a Lubavitcher. But to be fair, Chabad, they are Jewish supremacists. They do. I mean, Chabad does teach that the Jewish soul is superior, and Jews are better than non-Jews, and we got to reach out to Jews. Kiruv, like you're saying, a Jew is a Jew is a Jew. But here you are. I mean, here you are, James, someone who probably knows more Torah than 98% of the world's Jewish community. I mean, world Jewry. That's true, James. I mean, that's a fact. You know Judaism and the Torah more than 98% of world Jewry. But yet Chabad still says, you're just a goy. You're little more than a behemoth. I mean, it's kind of silly. I mean, the Tanya, the Chabad New Testament, the Tanya says, only Jews are part of God and stuff like that. So I mean, it plays into this. I mean, they shouldn't be thinking this. The Torah doesn't say it. The Torah says the mixed multitude came to God, and everyone has a share in the world to come, and they all converted. On Mount Sinai, it was everyone that came to Judaism.
If these are just if we're the lower echelon of humanity, I'll ask this of Chabad, then why are you building a house for everybody?
Yeah,
because you're going to have to let them all in eventually.
I think Chabad is so bad that if you time traveled Chabad back to Mount Sinai, they'll be standing on Mount Sinai telling Moses and everyone else, "Don't convert. It's better just to say non-Jew." I mean, that's how ridiculous it is. I mean, think about it. That's what they say. You come to the shul, you say, "I want to come and join the tribe." No, say a Noahide. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the worst enemy. I mean, like it's what you said. Jews are the worst. Their worst enemy.
Yes. And I think they're getting that now. I think with what's happening lately, it's terrible. It has to be like this, but it's got to be like this. And I think the world's ready for. I think most of the world's really ready for peace. So much of the world is ready right now, and we could be so close. So I pray for a strong Israel. I really do. I think a good, strong Israel when the Jews aren't being, the Woody Allens are very nervous. Oh, I don't want to upset the Palestinians. We'll give them some land and then we'll just pay for their stuff. We'll give them money every year and not tell the people. Oh, they're good. They keep using it. Oh, but we don't want to react too harshly to their rockets. We don't want to look like bad people in front of the United Nations and all the doctors and lawyers and things. Just stop this goy life you people live. Get out of it. Get your children out of it. You're here to bring God to the world and the world to God. That's the purpose of the Jew. Not Hollywood, not law, not doctors. It's good to have them. Not saying that, but that's not your purpose in life. And right now, you got a lot of enemies. Stupid people, low educated, low information people who are after you guys. They don't even know why. I want to free Palestine. Sounds nice, doesn't free, yay. But you know that's you're not here to be goyim and to fit in with us and to get our approval. You gotta get strong. We need a strong Israel, whether it's the state, which could use some massive improvement. I mean, people knew their government was paying Hamas money every year to placate them. That's bad news. It's bad news for the Jewish people. It's bad news for the world. There's my 2 cents on that. You're here for us, and we're we're the reason you exist. You might think you're better, but read the Bible. You guys can screw up as much as anybody. That's why I tell people who are angry at God and everyone, you can't criticize the Jews. No, you can't call for their obliteration. That pisses a lot of people off. There's still Americans who are very proud of what we did in World War II. So, sorry, but you got some issues there. I don't know if you can hear. That's my little girl who rode every ride that I rode, more than I rode. She rides that I don't even want to ride. And she is just tired. But we went anyway. So if you hear her crying there, my autistic daughter,
that's all right.
She's tired. Noise. And we went on rides twice. Just they got my daughter who wouldn't go on anything. My older daughter, she went. My wife Lisa, she never rides a darn thing ever, except maybe the merry-go-round. Might go on the Ferris wheel. So when they rode the Himalaya with me, which is my favorite flat ride, I went on the Ferris wheel, and I don't like Ferris wheels at all. Yeah, no. Give me something that makes me sick or scary, but yeah, the Ferris wheel, it's like white knuckle time. So
wow,
yeah.
Well,
high structures and just the idea. I had a dream that the State Fair in Dallas is a massive, huge roller coaster. And I had a dream that it just broke loose and started rolling, and I could hear people screaming in this massive wheel. So when I get into a Ferris wheel now, I just sweat. I'm going to fall off, or something's going to go wrong, and no Ferris wheels for me. But I went today. I was a good boy, and I had to. As if you rode a scary ride with Daddy, I gotta ride the scary. They like the Ferris wheel. They go on that all the time. Anyway, enough about my evening. Someone's calming down in there, so I can think. Okay. So let me point out some stuff about the Torah portion. Okay. It starts off really interesting.
What's the name of this week's Torah portion?
It's a Teitzei.
Teitzei, okay.
If you go, this is Duteronomy chapter 21, verse 10, just opens. If you go out to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God will deliver him into your hands, and you take captives, and you see among the captives a beautiful woman, and you desire her, you may take her for yourself as a wife. Shall bring her into your home. You shall shave her head and let her nails grow. And she shall remove the garment of her captivity from upon herself and stay in your house and weep for her father and her mother for a full month. After that, you may be intimate with her and possess her, and she will be a wife for you. And it will be, if you do not desire her, then you shall send her away wherever she wishes. But you shall not send her for money. You shall not sell her for money. You shall not keep her as a servant, because you have afflicted her. So, people say this is harsh and caveman, Stone Age stuff, but one, they don't kill the women and children. Really? Really? You're going to gripe that, he took her as a wife. Would you rather her die? And if she doesn't want to be a wife, it's not going to work out. She goes free wherever she wants. That's independence right there. Of course, in this particular day and age when this was written, it would be better to stick with Israel because some of these people were just pretty well disgusting. Not everybody that possessed the land, but you had a lot of human sacrifice, child sacrifice, virgin sacrifices, whatnot. It deals with if a man has two wives, one beloved, the other despised, and they bear him sons, the beloved one and the despised one, and the firstborn son is from the despised one, then it will be on that day the husband bequeaths his property to his sons, that he will not be able to give the son of the beloved wife birthright precedence over the son of the despised wife, the real firstborn. So again, you don't punish the. Okay, I got another thing I'm bringing up. You don't punish the father for the sin of the son or the son for the sin of the father. Each man pays for his own sins. Each man dies for his own sin. Okay. We had a shooting not long ago in Georgia. Kid was 13. They're charging him as an adult. So be it. But then they want to charge the father for encouraging him or for giving him a gun, is what it was. Knew that he was crazy. FBI said he was crazy. So he gave him a gun, I guess, for his birthday or for present or whatever. And they're charging him with involuntary manslaughter. Now, how does that work out? Is that morally proper to do that? When the Torah says you don't punish the father for the sin of the son, isn't that what's happening here? What say you? What do y'all think?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
It's crazy, right?
Right, but hey, somebody's got to be responsible for a 13-year-old.
You said this was New York?
No, Georgia. This was Georgia.
Oh, Georgia.
Yeah. Shot a few kids dead, a couple of teachers. Angry LGBT, apparently, kid, another one. Shooting up a school. If they're going to try him as an adult, how come the kid's an adult in the eyes of the court, but he's still a child, so they can go after the father? See, I don't know. I don't like it. Something about it ain't right, but that's just me.
Those are trying to get away with a form of gun control.
Probably.
But to some extent, what's a 13-year-old got to do with a gun, and why should the father do that? That's, he's got it coming. If he did it, the mother supposedly called and told the school something could possibly happen. So, we have that. So they might not be taking her because she called and at least tried to have something done. But I don't know. It's like, what asshole would give their kid if they know he's mental to begin with a gun? That's what gets me.
Yeah, troubled family. Yeah, be aware. They got your kids. They got our kids. They got a lot of people all mixed up. You want to talk about the T's, the trans issue? Well, God says flat out, you don't do that. You don't even dress like the other. Right. And I'm not talking Bob Hope and Milton Berle or Monty Python, who would put on a dress and for a gag. Okay,
right.
Not
that
the
was
same
acting.
thing.
That's acting.
Yeah.
That's role playing. It's not real.
But that's what God says. It's not our thing. Imagine the sin you have of transitioning a child. Talk about a capital freaking sin.
Yeah.
We're all about it here. We'll applaud it, but
no, we won't.
We won't what?
I said, don't know we won't applaud it.
No, we won't. Hell no. No God-fearing person should.
Exactly.
But we have churches that can fix that, right? Look at the Southern Baptists.
Yeah, the ones that we left.
Yeah.
The
Episcopal Church got real.
Oh my God.
Wacky.
Yes, they did. That was one of the reasons I left.
Can't say I blame you.
It's one of the reasons I've left. It's like, no. I have my own opinions on that, and I'm keeping them to myself because I don't want to do Lashon Hara. You know,
right.
But I did not like the way they were going.
Well, God says one thing and you say another, you got problems.
Yep. Yep, that's not happening.
Let's see. Man shall not take his father's wife, nor shall he uncover the corner of his father's cloak. A man with injured testicles or whose member is cut may not enter the assembly of the Lord. A bastard shall not enter the assembly of the Lord, even to the 10th generation shall not enter the assembly of the Lord. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter the assembly of the Lord. Even the 10th generation shall never enter the assembly of the Lord.
Now, that's for the men only.
Mm-hmm.
That does not have to do with the females. Because if that were true, King David would not be here because Ruth, his grandmother, was a Moabite.
That's right. Women are treated a bit differently in Judaism.
The women were not there at the sitting of the calf. And I can't remember everything. I think we just talked about that too. Oh, this weekend. I can't remember. Anyway, and excuse me. Yeah, the Moabite women weren't involved in any of that. So that's why they are still okay. It's just the men, the males.
Yeah. And women are treated a bit different. They're favored to some degree, I guess you might say.
They weren't there they weren't the ones committing that act. So that's why it's the men only.
And it is interesting that at Sinai, apparently, none of the women took part in the golden calf.
That's what I just said.
Like no women.
No. Mm-mm.
And God remembers that sort of thing.
Yep. Same with the. Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know about that. I'm not. No, never mind. It was the men with Balaam.
Right.
There's that, and it's like, they've said no, we're not having any party. We won't feed you or nothing like this. When they were trying to cross over and on their way, and they said no. That was the men that said it, not the women, because there's a men's gathering, and the women weren't involved.
Let me see if I got a meme. I wasn't able to get
a
lot of memes.
That one. I love that one. I sent you one a minute ago.
Yeah. Let's see what you got here. Let's open you up and see what we have here.
I love that one. Mm-hmm.
And Russell's having one heck of a chat. When he's going to do a Bible study, it's going to be some good stuff.
Yeah.
That's Saturday at 6. Sadly, I will not be able to join.
Me neither.
I'm working overtime now. Our managers, or my co-manager of the store I'm at, took a leave of absence, so I'm working 48, 50 hours this week for the next 5 weeks, I think now.
Uh-huh.
I'm tired.
Right.
So here, let me see if I can get you yours brought up here. In the meantime, I'm going to put up. Let me put up this in here. Here we go.
Oh, I love that. That's funny. Send me that. I will post that. Yeah, I haven't seen that. That's awesome.
It's some awesome. Thomas Sowell. One of the most important reasons for studying history is that virtually every stupid idea that is in vogue today has been tried before and proven disastrous before, time and again.
Yes.
Mr. Sowell is absolutely correct. And here's the one that came from Rosalie right here. My dearest Penelope, it is day 3 of the cat eating memes, and I fear there will be no end to them.
I love that. That's awesome.
So, okay, there's our memes of the week. We got that out there. So, yeah, this week's Torah portion. Check it out, Duteronomy. It starts off chapter 21, verse 10, and goes through chapter 25, isn't it? No, 24. Yeah, 25, verse 19.
Oh, shoot. Dang.
There it is. Therefore it will be. And this is the final commandment. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of commandments. This is Mishnah. This is a repetition of what was taught in the first 4 books. Remember what Amalek did. This is for Israel. You shall remember what Amalek did to you on the way when you went out of Egypt, how they happened upon you by the way and cut all the stragglers off at your rear when you were faint and weary, and he did not fear God. Therefore it will be, when the Lord your God grants you respite from all your enemies around you in the land which the Lord your God gives you as an inheritance to possess, that you shall obliterate the remembrance of Amalek from beneath the heavens. You shall not forget.
That's the maftir portion.
This is the worst. This is the worst enemy Israel's ever had. They went for the elderly, the weak, the children, stragglers,
right?
And went for the weakest part of them. Not unlike those on October 11th. So it's time to be a strong Israel, and it's time Amalek gets wiped from the remembrance from beneath the heavens. That's the whole planet. That whole thing is going to be gone. That what you're seeing at college campuses, and you get the low information, stupid people who just need to be a part of something to make themselves feel good. Yeah, just keep that in mind.
You know what really cracks me up? They keep saying about Kamala doing Vibe and Joy. Gee, does that not remind you of President Senior Bush? 1,000 points of light. How do you feel? Remember that?
Yeah. A kinder and gentler nation. Stay on track. 1,000 points of light.
How do you feel? Yeah. That's Bush Senior all over the place.
I never thought of that. We're going to keep thinking of it.
They hit me today.
But not on you.